I was recently asked a great question from somebody in my Facebook group, and I thought it would be a good topic to shoot for this actual channel, and that is how many affiliate blogs do I actually need to make a full-time income online? Now, what I can tell you is my advice is going to probably not be what you're going to hear from most people. My advice is a little bit different based on my own personal experience, but I'm going to share with you a few tips that I think will be helpful to help you scale up to a full-time income much quicker, as well as hopefully avoid some of the mistakes that I made myself. So tip number one is you only need one source. Now, as I told you before, my advice is probably going to be different than most people you hear. A lot of people are going to tell you to diversify your eggs and don't have all the eggs in one basket, have multiple sources of income. And I agree with some of these things to a degree, but what I can tell you is as an entrepreneur, we are not lacking opportunities, we're lacking focus, right? We're following 50 different leaders, trying 5 different ways to make money online, hoping one of them work, and we're all over the place. And this causes overwhelm, it causes frustration. So if you're at a point right now where you're even kind of trying to figure out like, where do I start? What do I do? I'm not sure. This is probably part of it. You know, when I first started out years ago, I was following those 50 different leaders, right? And the problem with this is they had 50 different methods to make money online. Now, obviously, this is my own personal advice, my own personal experience, but I've made over $1 million with affiliate marketing, and I can tell you personally, only a handful of my websites that I did actually made money. I've shared this with the people on the channel before, but I've been in over 200 websites or created 200 different websites and been in 150 different niches. What I can tell you is most of those websites, most of those niches did not really take off for me. Not because they weren't profitable, but because I wasn't really all in on them. I was just dabbling and I didn't really enjoy what I was doing. In fact, one of the websites I created was 𝐤𝐤𝐥𝐿. That site had the potential to make a lot of money, honestly. It was a college offer. I basically recruited people for, 𝐤𝐤𝐥𝐿 college, and I made a pretty good chunk of money when I actually made sales. And I did make a handful of sales, but the problem was I hated what I was doing. I wasn't enjoying it. I was just like putting very little effort into it. And what you got to understand as an affiliate is that at the end of the day, there's really no reason for you, right? You're helping somebody find a reason as to why they need the product that you're recommending, and then you're connecting the dots. You're bridging the gap, so to speak. And so if you're not really into what you're doing, your content's going to be horrible, your message is going to be horrible, you're probably going to put very little minimal effort into it because you just don't want to actually work on the website. Compared to if you're actually doing something you enjoy, you're probably going to make way more money with it. Now, that's not to say that all your passions are going to be monetizable, but my point here is that it's better to go all in on one thing over trying to diversify yourself all over the place. You'd be better off building one affiliate blog and then from there building other traffic sources, building out an Instagram profile, maybe a YouTube channel, a Pinterest channel, possibly Facebook, running some actual paid ads in order to that website. You're going to be able to get to a 6-figure income and possibly even a 7-figure income if you're a focused individual compared to trying to like diversify and be all over the place. So my suggestion is to pick one and go all in over trying so many different things because that dabbling mindset will never get you to where you want to be. You want to focus on mastery and mastery in one area, and that's the key to successful people, in my opinion. All right, tip number 2 is to pick something you're actually interested in, you can see yourself doing long term. So this is exactly what I told the person who asked me this question. You know, they had 4 or 5 different niches they were interested in testing. And I asked them, like, what's your big goal? What's your long-term vision? Where do you see yourself 1 year, 3 years, 5 years from now? And I understand if you're just starting out in entrepreneurship, like, you probably don't have that long-term vision. And it's because of the fact that you don't know what you don't know, right? Usually when we first start out in business, we're like, I just want to make money. And I was at that same point in my life too, but it wasn't until I actually sat back and asked myself, like, okay, Zach, what are your goals? What do you want to accomplish? How much money do you actually want to make? Like, do you even know that right now? Like a lot of people, like when they come to me and they say they want to make money, I'm like, well, how much money do you want to make? And they're like, well, I want to be rich or I want to be a millionaire. And they can't even explain as to why becoming a millionaire is even important to them. Like they just think it just means their life's going to be easier. So what I can tell you is you want to think long term and not such short term of I just want to make money, because when you have this I just want to make money mindset, a lot of times you're going to do exactly what I talked about in the previous tip, where you're not going to put effort into the website, you're not going to be focused on your audience, because as an affiliate, that's what really matters. It's not about you. And that's the thing that a lot of affiliate marketers never can grasp, and I think that's why they never make much money, is they're focused on making sales. They're focused on themselves, and they're not thinking first, like, how do I help my audience? How do I help them see that this product I'm recommending to them is actually going to help them get the result they want? That's how you make money as an affiliate. It's not about getting sales for yourself. It's actually helping the audience that you're serving. So in order to serve that audience, it probably makes it very important that you get clear on what niche and what group of people you want to serve. If you can't see yourself, for example, writing tons of content or creating videos or actually researching, even if you're doing like say Facebook ads, enough about the audience for the fitness niche, you probably shouldn't go into it because you're probably not going to make it successful. The people that are going to be successful, they're going to really put a lot of time, a lot of effort, and they're going to focus every single day on growing that. And if you're just dabbling in like 5 different niches, right, you're probably not going to be able to compete very well. When somebody else is going all in on that fitness website and you got like 10 websites trying all these different things, who do you think is going to do well? The person focusing on mastery or the person that's just dabbling and hoping one of their sites are going to take? So this is my point. Just like I talked about the HVAC site earlier, I could not see myself doing it for 2 months, let alone 2 years or 5 years. I didn't think about growing it into an authority site. I was doing this whole micro niche thing where I was like, hey, I hope there's no competition. You don't want to lack a competition. You want to go where there's lots of competition, because what this tells you is that there's room for growth. What this tells you is there's a lot of money in that niche. What this tells you is that you're not going to be limited by how big you can grow. So my opinion is to pick something that you can see yourself doing. Pick something you can see yourself creating content about consistently. Pick something you can see yourself possibly even maybe creating your own product down the line to make 10 times more revenue. Think long term. Don't think short term. Don't just look at something like, I hope one of these work. Pick the thing that you can see yourself doing, because that's where you're going to make money. When you're dabbling, you're probably going to make very little money. When you actually pick something, you're like, you know what? I'm excited about doing this. This is something I want to learn to get better at. This is something I want to build over the next 5 years. You're going to outdo everybody in your marketplace. When you're dabbling, you're going to make very, very little money. All right, so my third and final tip is to model successful people, or more specifically, model one person in your niche. So there's a reason I told you to pick one website to go all in on. That's because of the fact that we're going to actually do this third tip, which is to find somebody that's doing it successfully in your industry. Now, what you want to do is find one person that's doing it exceptionally well. And here's why. Like trying to follow 5 people is just like trying to build 5 different websites. It's going to be very hard. So what you want to do is look at what one person is doing. What content are they creating? What products are they selling? Where are they getting their traffic? So let's go to the content part of side of things, right? You want to figure out what are the topics of content they're creating, and not just the actual topics, but like read them. Actually pay attention to like their content. Figure out like how are they, talking to the audience? How do they express their feelings? This is going to give you ideas to become a good writer or to become a good speaker. Like for me, people always ask me like, Zach, how did you learn video? And it's because I digest so much video of my favorite people. It helped me to understand how to get my message across. It helped me to, articulate myself much better than I once did, because before I was following 5 different people. But once I started modeling one person I liked, I'm like, man, this makes things so much more simple of what to do myself. Now if we go to the actual part of the products they're selling, the products they're selling is going to give you ideas of what you should be selling. It's going to give you ideas of, okay, if they're promoting this, they're probably making pretty good money. It's probably helping their audience, at least I hope so. And it's not just a product they're selling just to make money. And then the third part is actually, where do they get their traffic from? So if they're creating content on Instagram, a podcast, maybe YouTube, you want to pick like one of those sources. Notice I said one. Everything's going to come down to one. One of those sources to master first. In the beginning, as a beginner, it's not very easy to do multiple things. And this is why I keep coming back to this power of one. Most people say the power of one is dangerous. I agree with that when we're talking about wealth, building wealth. You want to have multiple streams, not because you need multiple streams to make $1 million or to make $10 million, but because of the fact that diversifying is good once you're a higher level entrepreneur. But in the beginning, it's not easy to do multiple traffic sources. It's not easy to build multiple websites. It's not easy to manage like 5 different products. So even though, like I told you, to look at like all the different products they're selling, if they're selling 5, look for the one that they're promoting the most. Look for the one they're constantly promoting. That's going to tell you 2 things. 1, that's the product that you probably should focus on yourself. 2, that's also the product they're probably making the most money, because if they're constantly pushing that product, it's making them great money. And then what you want to do is you want to focus on selling that thing. Now, if we go back to the traffic thing, I know I'm jumping around a little bit here, but I digress. So with the traffic thing, right? You want to focus on one traffic source that you like. So if you're very uncomfortable doing video, or you're very uncomfortable doing, a podcast, right? You want to do what you feel like you can see yourself doing. It goes back to the whole thing I said about seeing the long-term vision. If you can see yourself doing video, you're like, you know what, I like video, I can see how video is going to help me connect with my audience, then that's where you want to be. For me, I didn't want to do video, but I understood that video was a skill I needed to master. I could already see at that point in time in my career that like video is where things are going. Video is how you connect with your audience. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to master video. I don't really like the idea of this, but I'm going to do it. And because of that, that's why I do video so much to this day. I focused all in on video. And what I can tell you is that's how I've made so much money, is it's video. That's not to say that you can't make money doing blogging. That's where I started out. I started out with blogging. I transitioned more into video. But at the end of the day, you want to pick one source that you can really go into, one product to focus on, one traffic source, one person to follow. This is going to make your journey so much easier to get there. Now, I want to touch one last part on this tip. Look at like how they promote the product, right? Look at their emails they write. Look at their videos they create to do it. Are they reviewing the product? Are they just talking about, different types of content and then relating that content to why that product will help them do whatever they were saying to do in that content? Are they creating emails around that product? Are they creating a video sales letter? Look at every single thing the person is doing and then model it. Model it very closely. And I want to say model, not copy. People copy and that's bad. That's not very flattering. You want to model closely, get ideas, use a little bit of creativity, and this is going to help you get results 10 times faster. So my personal advice is to focus on one affiliate website at a time, focus on selling one product at a time, focus on one traffic source at a time, get some traction, and then you can start expanding to multiple streams of income, multiple traffic sources, multiple business models. But until you can make one thing work exceptionally well, it doesn't really make sense to try multiple things. You're going to be spreading yourself too thin as a beginner, and you want to get some traction faster, not later, right? All right, so that's a wrap. That's all I got. And I hope that if you're one of these people that had the question yourself, you're trying to figure out what you should focus on, or should you do multiple streams of income, should you focus on one thing, this helped you. And if it did, I'd appreciate if you hit that like button because it helps me reach more people. Now, finally, if you're new to the channel, every single day I give away one of my $1,000 courses for free. And all you need to do to qualify for that is go below, hit that subscribe button, smash that notification bell so you get notified when I drop new videos. And then every single day you have a chance to win the course. All you got to do is comment on one of my videos and I give it away to one person every single day. With that being said, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you got value, and take care, and I'll see you in the next video.